The world's 28th leadership gathering to confront the existential threat posed by climate change is underway in Dubai. As world leaders look to address our long-known problem, here's a look at some key moments in the history of climate negotiations. In 1990, at the UN's Second World Climate Conference, scientists highlight the risks of global warming to nature and society. British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher calls for binding emissions targets.
We need to speed up action and set ourselves higher targets and shorter deadlines.
In 1992, countries at the Rio Earth Summit sign on to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. It establishes the idea that developed countries must do more to tackle climate warming emissions. In 1995, the first Conference of the Parties, or COP, is held in Berlin. A final document calls for legally binding emissions targets. In 1997, at COP3 in Kyoto, Japan, parties agree to emissions cuts for developed countries. In 2005, the Kyoto Protocol goes into effect. It's a legally binding treaty in which 55 countries agree to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. In 2009, COP15 talks in Copenhagen nearly collapse amid efforts to agree to a binding post-Kyoto framework. Countries instead vote to take note of a non-binding political statement. COP16, 17, and 18 all failed to set new binding emissions targets. Delegates in Doha at COP18 instead extended the Kyoto Protocol through 2020. In 2015, COP21 results in the Paris Agreement.
L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
The first global pact to call for increasingly ambitious emissions pledges from both developed and developing countries. Delegates also pledged to try to keep warming to within 1.5 degrees Celsius. In 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump pulls the U.S. out of the Paris Treaty.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
4 years later, in 2021, newly elected U.S. President Joe Biden rejoins the Paris Agreement. At COP26 later that year, the Glasgow Pact sets a goal of using less coal and resolves rules for trading carbon credits to offset emissions. In 2022, COP27 in Egypt marks a historic deal for a loss and damage fund for costly climate disasters, but does little to address the emissions fueling such disasters.
It's rare to find news and insights tailor-made for you. For clutter-free content and value-added insights, India's #1 financial news destination, Moneycontrol brings you Moneycontrol Pro, an ad-free premium service that offers its subscribers curated market data, feasible investment solutions, exclusive noise-free information, independent equity analysis, and sharp opinion. Moneycontrol Pro, India's fastest-growing subscription service, has offered valuable content to subscribers in sync with their interests and demands. We are now a family of over 500,000 active subscribers, consistently helping our users on their wealth creation journey and enriching their awareness around business and finance. We are grateful for the continued support of our loyal readers and subscribers for making Moneycontrol Pro an undisputed leader in its category. And if you are yet to experience the rich offerings, subscribe today for a seamless, uninterrupted access to a gamut of business and financial information. Be a pro with Moneycontrol Pro.